Come with me on a trip I have dreamed about for many years. 12 days living on an Indonesian boat, navigating to the most remote and untouched places I've ever been, on the search for a fish that every sparrow dreams about hunting once. After 2 days of traveling with all our equipment, we faced an unexpected challenge, a costly unplanned 7-hour boat ride after our final flight was cancelled due to volcanic eruptions in the region. While everyone else was relaxed, enjoying their bintang beers, I couldn't help but feel uneasy as a boat mechanic. Night was falling, the boat had no rudder, and to make matters worse, one of the engines kept stopping due to a dirty fuel tank. In this remote area, everything is pitch dark and there's no one around to help in case of an emergency. Midway through the journey, we even had to stop to refuel with about 150 liters of gasoline stored in plastic containers, which was transferred using a hose the old school way. A few tense hours later, we finally made it safely to our Indonesian boat, where the crew welcomed us with drinks. I was happy we finally made it. So nice.
Hello, how are you?
We had a few hours of sleep and woke up sailing toward our first spearfishing spot. We began preparing all our equipment with the help of Paul and Lenny, our guides, two humble and friendly guys who had been living in Indonesia for many years and knew the area well. They decided where to go and explained how to handle the strong currents we might encounter. We still had a full day of sailing ahead, giving me plenty of time to get familiar with Paul's powerful Kraken guns, which would be my new tool for this trip. Later, we had lunch, relaxed and enjoyed the evening before the adventure officially began the next day. Good morning, guys. I just woke up. It's 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's our first day here in Indonesia. We are super remote. We sailed with the boat for the whole night, and the sleep actually wasn't quite good because the generator is quite loud and the engine from the boat as well. But yeah, I can't wait. We are very nervous already, all of us. Some of the boys slept outside on the roof, on the top of the boat. Yeah, I'm super happy to be here and very thankful, and I can't wait what will happen these days. We felt both excitement and respect as it was our first time diving here. We put on our wetsuits along with all the necessary accessories, organized the dinghies and set out to dive at an almost invisible pinnacle in the middle of the ocean. Of course, I couldn't forget my camera to capture the best moments, but it's always a challenge for me to balance spearfishing, staying focused and filming everything as well as possible. Our captain took us to the spot and the journey began. We immediately noticed that the area was full of life, even though the water was quite murky due to a nearby channel. We did a few dives but couldn't find any doggies, so we decided to take the reel gun to shoot a big GT or barracuda that we had spotted a few times to at least have a fish for dinner. But then of course, when we already had the reel gun, they suddenly appeared but were too small to shoot. Then Jack, a few meters away, saw a school of bigger ones and he couldn't resist trying to make a stone shot.
Doggy!
The doggy dragged him down a few times until the reel was empty and the line broke. It was disappointing, but we knew the doggies were here and grabbed the right gun so the hunt could begin.
No, it's not easy forgiving. Found a new reason for living. They say it's making noise, all I hear them say.
Doggies are incredibly powerful and try to rip off everything at the bottom. That's why we use big floats to stop them from going down. It is also recommended to use a cable on the shaft instead of Dyneema or nylon, as they can be easily cut when they come into contact with corals. The fight is always a moment of mixed emotions, excitement, adrenaline, but also the panic of losing the fish. We could manage to hunt a few of them and we're happy that after such a long trip everything was going well.
Found a new reason for living. They say it's making noise, all I hear them say.
What a blessing it is to be here, living this wild adventure. Now it was time to weigh the fish and then cut one for some fresh sashimi for our dinner.
40 kilos!
Yay! Yeah, it's 40. It's about 40 or so, yeah. Woo!
35!
35! What you said in the water?
You think it's surgeon fish?
Oh, yeah, no, it's...
There's a few.
Oh, no, not surgeon fish. Like,
Trevallies.
it's a type of trevally, yeah.
Is it an African pompano or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Golden trevally.
So Lenny, we had a very great day, being our first day. Yeah, we catched too many doggies. What are we doing now with all that fish?
Yeah, we're hopefully gonna trade them with some local fishermen for some lobster, octopus or something. There's a few boats there, maybe we'll ask them. If not, we'll give it to the locals. We're in a village a few miles up the coast. It can never be too many doggies. There's no such thing. We had a great day.
Yeah,
40
amazing.
kilo doggy, 35 kilo doggy, and a few smaller ones. But this is your first day spearing doggies, right, Nick?
Yes, absolutely first day.
Spear a 40 kilo on your first day is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Most people maybe never experience that in their life.
I'm super happy.
Only in Indonesia. I got the smaller 35 kilo one there. Maybe this time. Tomorrow I'll get you. Don't shoot doggies with real guns.
So we are arriving at the village in the night. It's very shallow here. We have to be careful.
That's a nice beach.
Good captain. Hello. Hello.
Peter.
Jack. Nick.
Nama saya Lenny. Want the photo?
Iya, coba. Ah, ini.
Mantap.
Good night. Bye.
Oh yeah.
Oke.
Mantap. Ayo ini, ayo.
Oh.
Iya. Oke. Nice. Ayo. Oke.
We immediately felt welcomed and the family was very kind. You might think the locals are used to seeing these big fish, but they are not. Hunting them is difficult because they don't have the right equipment and the fish are too powerful to catch with a line. They couldn't stop taking pictures with us and I was fascinated by how simple they live and they always had a smile on their faces. Phones and bikes are also common, as they explained to me that once a month vehicles and electronics are brought from the cities to the remote islands to restock supplies. Every time I find myself in such remote places, I realize that you don't need much to live a happy life and that most of our problems are self-created rather than real issues. We stayed for about 2 hours because our boat crew wanted to trade some shower water and Lenny took the opportunity to gain some new followers for our YouTube channel. It felt good knowing that with those doggies we could help feed the family and their friends for a few days. Finally, we took a group picture and I shared some sweets with the younger ones. Then at night time we said goodbye to our new friends and headed back to our boat where fresh sashimi awaited us for dinner. The next day we woke up sailing to the second spot. We really enjoyed navigating through the calm sea, watching dolphins swim around us and relaxing on deck in the sun with the boys. Once we arrived, we met a group of local fishermen who had fresh lobsters on board and a fascinating method of keeping them alive, making holes in the boat so that part of it remained underwater. Show me your local spear gun. Wow. Oh, wow. They were super friendly and told us that they navigate for 3 full days and nights to get here. To me it was crazy to see the engine and equipment they use for such a journey. They truly risked their lives to catch lobsters and some fish that they later sell. We showed for what we were hunting for and they were quite impressed. After a nice chat we had a delicious lobster lunch and were ready to go spearfishing at this new spot on the search for a doggy of a lifetime. As soon as we arrived, we noticed that despite the water not being the clearest due to the currents, the area was full with life. I don't think I've ever seen so many fish in one place before. After a few dives, we finally spotted the first nice doggies. We lost that doggy when it ripped off from the slip tip, but this place was pure magic. Almost every dive we saw plenty of doggies and other species. Our dream trip was becoming a reality and everything was unfolding just as we had imagined. By the end of the day, we were surrounded by hundreds of doggies and picking the biggest one was no easy task. one. Yeah. Yee-hee-hee.
Lots of work.
Nice. Oh, nice. Hey, Lenny. Oh.
It was unreal. I'm telling you, it's what you dream of. It's what you dream of.
So nice.
And I dived down them when they were going around the circles, but I was like, where's the big one? Where's the big one? Where's the big one? I'll come up and get ready and go down again and get one. And then I didn't see them again.
Oh my god.
Every day is the dream come true.
And the boatman? What is the boatman saying?
He says,
Good?
He says we have too many fish. This is what we're going to do with them.
Yeah, too much.
Feed the village. Doggy paradise.
Oh, 25. I think that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Oh, 44, 42, 40.
No. What a fucker. Okay, 30, 33, 32.
27. 27.
Since we had more fish than we could possibly eat, we called over a local fisherman we had spotted from far and gave him a generous share. He told us that lately it had been difficult for him to catch large amounts of fish on his own, especially in the dark and so far from the village. He was incredibly grateful and said this catch would help feed his entire community. It was a win-win situation for everyone, and knowing we could make a difference truly made my day.
Goodbye.
We had no idea what to expect at the next destination, but it was a legendary spot, known for its crazy drop-offs and powerful currents that pulled in colder waters. With the right moon and tide at the right time of the year, this place had been home to some of the biggest dogtooth tunas ever recorded. After carefully preparing our equipment, we nervously drove to the spot, jumped into the water and immediately noticed that it was colder, the visibility was better and the currents were much stronger. We had to jump in at one spot, drift while making a few dives, then get back on the boat to head up current again. From the beginning we saw doggies, but since we had already shot a few good-sized doggies at the other spots, we didn't go for the smaller ones here. We were holding out for a true giant. After a few dives learning how to position myself in the right spots, I saw the biggest doggy of my life in crystal clear waters coming right into me, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, so I placed a shot. The doggy immediately dove into the depths, pulling my float down with extreme power until suddenly all the power was gone. And this is the heartbreaking moment when you realize your shot wasn't good enough and the fish ripped off. You know you have harmed it, and you also know that for the next few days you will be thinking and dreaming about that fish. What could I have done better? The shaft went through, but I guess I should have aimed a bit higher. There's no way to change what happened now, and all I could do was hope for another chance at a fish of that size. While I was resting, Jack and Lenny kept searching for that monster in the last rays of sunlight, spotting several mid-sized doggies, giving them hope to keep diving. Then, as Jack made one of his final deep dives, something massive appeared from the shadows.
Oh my god! At least 50, more than that.
This is more than 50. I'm telling you now.
We have dreamed of this fish and this journey for years, knowing that hunting a fish like this is anything but easy. It takes years of experience, relentless research, the right connections, the right equipment, teamwork, and most importantly, the courage to dive into the unknown. Somewhere remote on the other side of the world where no one can help if things go wrong. But that's exactly what fuels us, pushing beyond routine, embracing the wild and chasing a dream most wouldn't dare to.
Yeah, when Jack speared this, I saw him go down, a little bit of down current whirlpools, and he was in 15-ish meters or something. I saw him line up and turned on my camera. Anyways, 2 seconds later, I hear the shot, and then he comes up, looks at me, goes like this, and then behind him, or right in front of him, this floats are going down. It's a fish of a lifetime, yeah. But he hit a good shot, I think, through the gill.
Yeah.
And yeah, then a few minutes later, we went back, and I don't really want to talk about it, actually. No, I do want to talk about it. We were on a dive, and there was a small one that came up, didn't shoot it, and then I turned around the surface, and then I looked back down, and there was just a huge one, similar size to this, I don't know.
Yeah, this size or maybe a little bit more. The head seems to go.
Maybe half a meter away from Jack.
No, I don't think
And he had the camera. And
I know, I saw it. I couldn't come back down. Fuck.
so basically, the past 45 minutes I saw 10 fish, 50, 60, 70 kilos. Didn't spear any of them.
Tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow you're going to all stay there until it's Sunday.
But yeah, it's a basic fish. Thanks, man.
The next morning we set out with the dinghy to explore the new area. I was excited to film the reef with my camera, and later we would also try to hunt some reef fish. Indonesia is home to so many different species, and as I explored I was amazed by how tiny fish move together, playing and hiding through the healthy corals. When you slow things down and have a closer look, you see the true beauty of each creature. The bright colors, the smooth movements, and how perfectly they belong in their world. I kept filming, completely lost in the moment. Then, out of nowhere, a mola mola appeared, gliding through the blue. It was a rare and breathtaking sight, a powerful reminder of how stunning nature is when left undisturbed by humans. In the meantime, Jack was hunting in the depths of the reef, barely seeing a fish because he was surrounded by hundreds of surgeonfish compressed together in fear of being eaten by some of the little doggies above them. In order to hunt at depths of about 30 meters or more, you need to stay very calm to slow your heartbeat, make slow movements and avoid scaring any fish. If you do this, you will be successful. Discovering the depths of a reef is a truly enjoyable experience, as you are surrounded by a wide variety of species the whole time. This allows you to carefully select the right species without causing any harm to the environment. Even though you may sometimes see a lot of great-sized snappers, it is not easy to land a good shot, as they are very clever. In some cases, it's better to hold off on taking the shot and waiting for another opportunity. Under some rocks we found some lobsters, and yeah, I fired the gun with only half of a rubber for power, because I didn't want to risk losing any by trying to grab them by hand. This way I was sure to make the catch, especially since our food on the boat was limited and some were pretty deep under the rocks. It was time to go for something more powerful, and we still hadn't shot a big GT. We only wanted to catch one each on this trip, so we ended an area where we quickly found them and decided to take the chance.
He's back. Look.
A few minutes later, while Jack was still on the boat, I was trying to move with the strong current that had suddenly picked up. It felt like being on a highway. Just as I was about to call the boatman to pick me up, two giant GTs, each around 40 kilos, came straight into me.
Right there!
After a long and intense fight, I managed to bring this once-in-a-lifetime GT to the surface. The morning couldn't begin better.
He's picking up a fish to show us. Does it look heavy? Hey!
The GT guys!
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's huge!
Oh, you guys got lobster!
Yeah, 2 lobsters.
And lobsters.
I can't stand up!
Fuck.
Wow.
Was ein Brecher!
Oh my god. I almost died. Back too, eh?
What happened?
He took so much line out. Oh.
We found some good spots.
You did?
Yeah, sharks. A leopard shark.
Yeah.
And a real gun, yeah.
Fuck it up. The current was super strong.
They say it's not best to shoot it with a real gun.
Mine is also bended.
Oh my god.
Oh my fuck.
How did that even hold?
Fuck. All the sideways. Jeez. Can you shot the giant GT on a real gun? Oh my gosh.
40 kilo, you think?
No, maybe more. Maybe 40.
This is a leftover RV shark. Not too bad.
Yeah. It's actually even fixable.
It was no current, and then suddenly, it was a river.
It was a river.
He shot it in the river. In the river.
I went down, it was like a highway underwater. By the sudden, 2 of them, giant, came into me, and I thought like, wow. Boom. And then the fight began. It was crazy.
And it's all burning down in the fire. Taking
At the end, almost my whole reel was out.
Yeah.
And it was pulling me down underwater. I couldn't breathe anymore. I was so dead. And I said, Jack, help me! I get it.
No, it wasn't like that. It was like, Jack,
Yeah,
help me!
I got it.
Oi! 40 on that. Nice.
We know your tricks. We know your tricks.
That's a monster GT.
Oh, 20 kilo.
20, ya 20.
and it's all burning down in the fire.
Wow, that meat is looking great.
After a midday rest and some food, it was time to prepare our equipment again for the last afternoon dive, before heading to the final spot. We were excited and full of hope to see some giant doggies once more, and we couldn't wait to get back into the water. Most people don't realize how much training it takes to dive that deep, especially when there's strong current. Every little move matters. You have to keep equalizing on the way down to stop your ears from hurting. Stay steady while the water pushes you around and line up a good shot, all while holding your breath and feeling the heavy pressure from the deep. In this special moment, a doggy swam by, but it stayed pretty far away. Sometimes they don't come right up to you like you might think after watching other parts of this movie. They can be really tricky, and if they notice you trying to sneak up behind them, they will stay even more far. It's just their instinct. They don't really know what we are. And with barely any effort, they can stay a few meters out of reach while we are down there pushing our lungs to the limit, hoping for just one chance at a shot. But sometimes you reach the point where you have to accept that your life is more important than any fish and head back to the surface, even when they turn around like this doggy and you might think you get the chance to shoot. After taking a breath and diving down again, a school of very big doggies, even bigger than the 65-kilo one, swam right into Jack's path at around 30 meters deep. But just before he could take the shot, the line he was using ran out. He was too deep and the line was too short, so it happened. He pulled the trigger by accident and missed the shot.
Fuck, it was massive. Me entraron como 10 doggies de 70 a 100 kilos. No pude caerle y intenté estirar y creo que al estirar toqué el gatillo sin querer y disparé. Enorme, era enorme ese.
Time was flying and every time we saw a nice doggy again, something happened that caused us to lose the fish. This time it ripped off after struggling with the float for a few intense minutes. Then I encountered another one. I placed a perfect shot, but due to the fish's position and the strong current, it went straight down. The rope briefly touched the reef and got cut. I lost my spur and a piece of rope. I didn't care about the equipment, but about hurting the fish and not being able to bring it up to the boat. The current was getting very strong, but when the boatman dropped us one last time on the right spot, Jack, without much hope, but this time with a longer rope, made a final dive.
There's more. Let's get back in the water.
I'd say 50, 55.
Yeah, something like that. Don't think as big as my other one, but
Down, and it was the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Where's the doggies? I'm gonna see them. And I didn't see any. And then 2 seconds later, Jack just slides past me 5 meters deeper, and then spears this fucking thing.
And again, Jack did it again. You might think he was just the lucky one on this trip, but this wasn't luck. It was a result of years of experience, diving skills and much determination. He never gave up. He had to work very hard just to make this trip happen, and I couldn't be happier for him, finally achieving his dream of hunting again one of the most challenging species out there. On our way back to the boat, we stopped at a fishing vessel full of lobster hunters, young men far from home working to earn money for their families. After talking with them, we selected a few lobsters from the tank on their boat and bought them for dinner. Later they came over to us, as they don't usually see tourists in the area. We took some pictures and shared a humble and beautiful moment with them.
it looks bigger, because it's so long.
Yeah, it's because it's long.
44.
44. Nice fish, Jack.
Yeah.
The day was coming to an end and we were all exhausted. It was time to enjoy a well-earned dinner of fresh fish and lobster, then get some rest before heading to our final spot the next day. We set sail the next morning to a remote spot near the coastline, inhabited by only a few locals. The area is known for strong currents, but here we could also find large Spanish mackerel and big doggies in shallow waters. The conditions had changed, visibility was worse and the water temperature was higher. There was a steep drop-off caused by the currents, and that was exactly where the abundance of marine life was concentrated. We had to dive for a while to get used to the new location, but then we started seeing nice fish like this snapper in quite shallow waters, and the hunt could begin.
Julian, come here. 35 kilo doggy at 12 meters right below me. Pull it up hard. Nice.
The morning was just starting to get exciting, but part of the experience is knowing when not to pull the trigger and being selective. With this GT, simply watching them glide around us was already something magical. We were just about to head back to the boat when Lenny spotted a very desired Spanish mackerel in the distance and took a long shot. At that moment, we had no idea where the shaft had landed. After a few minutes of fighting and a second shot to secure the fish, we realized the slip tip had gone right through the upper part of the tail fin, so all the pressure of the line was hanging from that single point. How was it even possible to hold a fish like that? I guess only the aquatic apes could turn a lucky tail shot into a YouTube-worthy stunt. After this majestic move, we were ready to enjoy some fresh, super soft white meat. Well done, Lenny. Paul, what are you doing?
Making some sushi.
Oh,
And
that's
some,
looking amazing.
This is Spanish, and this is the dogtooth. Dogtooth, and this is Spanish.
Nice, eh? We enjoyed some delicious raw fish and shared a few with two humble fishermen who had arrived in a handmade bamboo canoe. They even asked for the spines from the Spanish mackerel Lenny had caught. Here nothing goes to waste. After a short rest, we headed back to the spot in the afternoon to give it another try.
Oh, it's a big one. That's 40? Oh, 30.
It never ran. I shot it from cheek to cheek and it just stayed there and it's full of life.
We hunted a few more doggies, but we all had the same thoughts. This place was nice, but not like the other ones, so we had to go back. First though, we drove to some locals to share fish with them.
Anda mau ikan?
Oh, thank you.
Ada 3 ini.
Bawa sini semua.
Bawa semua.
Bawa semua.
Ui. Halo Pak.
I name Lazarus.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Nama saya Lenny.
Ay. Dari mana?
Amerika.
Ay,
Ya.
Bisa sampai di ayah.
Ya, dia dari England. Dia dari Jerman.
Ay.
Wow.
You say hello. I'm Nick.
Nama dia Nick. Nicholas.
Yes.
Nikolaus.
Yes.
Jerman.
Terus turun. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Selamat malam. Yeah.
Selamat malam.
He's saying that's for the evening.
Oh, thanks you.
Sama-sama. Yeah.
It was time to say goodbye, but not without Lenny testing their handmade goggles. It was a beautiful moment, sharing a few words with the locals and making them happy with a few doggies. And that's what it's all about, not just killing fish, but living the whole adventure. These moments change you as a person and make you realize so many beautiful things. That night we went to sleep while the crew quietly took us back to the epic spot, where we would fish one last day before ending the trip. When we woke up, Paul was already cleaning the bones for his skulls. We had high expectations since it was our last day. The good thing was that we already knew the spot. We knew exactly where to swim depending on the current. We just had to take a few good breaths, because normally you have to dive deep in this place. We knew that after this day, this whole dream was coming to an end, so we had to make the best out of it. We drove to the spot, the weather conditions were insane, everything looked perfect. As we jumped into the water with our floats, we did the first dives to see if we could find them, and they showed up immediately. Those doggies were all between 50 and 80 kilos. The number of big ones we were seeing that last day was insane, but landing one was a real challenge. They pull the big floats underwater with such incredible power that if the shot isn't perfectly placed, they rip off, and there's no worse feeling. We were having a hard time getting a big one, but we kept trying since it was our last day and the conditions were too good. After a few more dives, Jack landed at a spot that was full of bait. He kept diving there until on one dive a massive doggy came straight into his path, and he knew that this was one of his last chances, so the shot had to be good. Before he even reached the surface, the floats were already shooting downward like torpedoes. The shot looked solid, but with these giants you never really know until the fight is over. Jack had to sprint to reach the second float, and once he grabbed it, he clipped his spear gun to the quick release system and rubbed both hands around the line, pulling every time the fish paused for even a second. But damn, it took a long time before this doggy finally gave up. Out here in the middle of nowhere, nothing is guaranteed. Hunting these giants is one of the hardest things we will ever do. Every dive demands everything from us. Our breath, our focus, our courage. And even though we take their lives, we do it with respect, giving them a clean, dignified ending. For moments like this, we accept the risks. Far from land, far from comfort, chasing a dream that most people will never understand. A dream we turned into reality with our own hands. This is selective, sustainable and honest. Nothing goes to waste and every fish is honored. In a lifetime, maybe you get a moment like this once, and when it happens, it stays with you forever. After Jack landed that giant, I knew I had to make one last dive before heading home, because for sure the doggies were still there. I gave him my camera to try to capture one final epic shot from behind, dropping deep into the blue, with almost no sunlight left, driven by that inner feeling that maybe, just maybe, I could land the fish of a lifetime. With those thoughts racing through my mind, I turned around and they appeared all at once. They were massive, they were like 8, 9, 10. And that's how this trip comes to an end. In the last hours, we both landed a beautiful doggy. Mine wasn't the biggest, but it still meant a lot to me. Jack's fish weighed 57 kilos, and we really enjoyed those final moments out there together. The whole trip felt like a dream, intense, beautiful, and gone before we even realized. I'm just grateful nothing happened to us and that we always looked after each other. Out here, being a team is everything. Thank you for watching, and a big thanks to Paul, Lenny and Alboy for making this dream possible. And Jack, this bintang is on you for landing the biggest doggies of this trip. But now the question is, where do we go next?